In the deep corners of the galaxy, there was a large trading station known as Zone Delta 9. This place was not like any normal market. Here, you could buy weapons, machines, even slaves. People from all planets came to trade strange and secret things. One evening, a young human named Jace Carter walked through the metal streets of the station. He was not a soldier, not a trader, just a mechanic from Earth, but today he was looking for something he didn't even understand himself. His boots clicked on the floor as he walked past strange stalls. Glowing lights, shouting sellers, and the smell of oil and smoke filled the air. Robots passed him. Creatures with 4 eyes stared at him. But he kept walking. At the end of a dark hallway, he found a small, quiet shop. A red light blinked over the door. The sign read, "Pleasure Rentals, first hour free." Jace paused. He didn't come for this, but something pulled him toward the door. He stepped inside. The room was cold and silent. On one side, small cells with glass walls. Inside each, a woman or something close to one. Alien, modified, beautiful, all looked tired. Empty eyes. Some didn't even look up. Then he saw her. She was different. Her skin was silver blue. Her hair was like soft white threads. And her eyes, glowing violet, sharp, and full of something no one else in that room had. Life. She sat quietly in the corner of her cell. Chains on her wrists. A collar around her neck with a label. Entertainment use only. Do not bond. Do not ask questions. The seller, a fat man with oily skin, noticed Jace staring. "You like that one?" he said with a grin. "Brand new. Doesn't speak much. Good for fun. But she's cold, even for an alien. Most just return her." Jace didn't smile. "What's her name?" The seller laughed. "Name? These things don't need names. She's just a rental." But Jace kept staring. The alien woman finally looked at him, straight into his eyes, not with fear, not with pain. With a strange, quiet challenge. "Can I take her out?" Jace asked. The seller raised an eyebrow. "Rent her?" Jace shook his head. "No, buy her." The seller looked shocked. "Why would you buy one of these? She's just for play. She's not even built for full companionship. You'll regret it." But Jace didn't listen. "How much?" The man hesitated, then gave a number. "High. Too high." Jace still paid. Minutes later, the collar came off. The chains were removed. The woman stepped out of the glass room. She stood tall, proud. Still silent. As they walked out of the shop, the seller called behind them, "Don't say I didn't warn you. She's not what she looks like." They reached Jace's small ship. Inside it was warm and quiet. The woman sat down on a seat, calm but watchful. "You can talk," Jace said gently. "No one's going to hurt you here." She looked at him but said nothing. "Do you have a name?" he asked. She paused, then slowly shook her head. "Then I'll give you one," he said after a moment. "Let's call you ... Xera." She blinked once, then gave a small nod. Hours passed. Jace tried to sleep, but he couldn't stop thinking about her. Why did she look so different from the others? Why did she feel real? In the middle of the night, he got up to get water. As he passed the ship's control panel, he noticed something strange. A small red light was blinking. Incoming signal. He opened the panel. A hidden chip had activated in Xera's collar before it was removed, transmitting location, human ship number 882. Target acquired. His heart stopped. Someone was watching her. Someone was coming. He turned to look back at her. Cey Ra stood there. In the dark, her glowing eyes already open. She wasn't asleep. She had been waiting. And for the first time, she spoke. In a cold, clear voice, she said, "They're coming. And now, they'll come for you too." Xera didn't sleep. She didn't need to. Her eyes stayed open in the dark cabin, glowing faint purple under the ship's soft lights. Jace sat across from her, silent, thinking hard. She had spoken only one sentence. "They're coming. And now, they'll come for you too." He didn't ask who they were. Something in her voice told him she wasn't afraid of them. But maybe he should be. The next morning, Jace gave her some food. She didn't touch it. He sat beside her and spoke softly. "You can talk now. You're free." Zara looked at him, calm. Free? Yes, he said. No more chains. No more rentals. You're safe here. She turned her head. You think safety is real? For someone like me? Her voice was smooth, cold, but not without emotion. There was something deeper hiding beneath her words. Pain, maybe. Or truth. Jace leaned forward. Then tell me, who are you, really? She looked him straight in the eyes. I was built to serve. Then I learned to survive. As the ship floated in orbit around a quiet moon, Jace decided to check Zara's collar. The chip he had found last night was still warm, still active, a secret transmitter. Hidden tech, advanced and illegal. He opened it carefully and found something else. A code key encrypted, strange. A language he didn't recognize. He showed it to her. This was in your collar. What is it? She looked at the device and her face changed, just slightly. That's not just a tracker, she said. It's a memory key, my memories. My real ones. Jace blinked. You don't remember who you are? Zara nodded slowly. They removed parts of me, made me forget. I only see shadows, a battle, a fall, then chains. Later, Jace opened a hidden log file in the memory chip. He played a video grainy, black and white footage. A young woman, very much like Zara, stood before a group of alien commanders. She wasn't in chains. She was speaking boldly. The humans are not the enemy, she said. But if we keep selling their image of love and freedom as lies, then we are. The screen glitched. Explosion, screams, then black. Jace looked up at her. That was you. Zara didn't speak. He continued slowly. You were a rebel. She closed her eyes. I was a spy. I was trained to enter human colonies and report their weaknesses. But I saw more. I saw kindness. I saw music. I saw mothers holding children. I didn't want to fight anymore. Then what happened? Jace asked. Her voice grew quieter. They called me broken, my own people. They erased my mission and sold me as a slave. Jace felt anger rise inside him, not just for what had been done to her, but because no one ever even noticed. How many more like you? He asked. Too many, she said. Most are destroyed before they feel anything. He stood up. Then I want to help you. She looked surprised for the first time. Why? She asked. Because I believe you're not just a tool. Or a slave or a mistake. He paused. You're more than what they made you. For a long time, Zara said nothing. Then a single tear slipped down her cheek. She quickly wiped it away and stood. I want my memories back, she whispered. As they prepared to leave the moon's orbit, a signal hit the ship's radar. Unknown vessel approaching. ID blocked. Speed high. Weapons active. Jace cursed. They found us. Zara stood beside him, calm again. No, she said. They found me. Jace looked at her. Then let's not run. Let's find out who you really are. She smiled just a little. For the first time, she said, I believe someone sees me. Zara didn't blink. As the enemy ship moved closer on the radar, she stood still, eyes glowing, body calm. But Jace saw it, a flicker. A small, almost invisible shimmer in her eyes, like a memory trying to escape. The ship shook. A warning shot hit their shields. Jace grabbed the controls. They're not waiting to talk. Zara placed a hand on his arm. Don't run, she said softly. Let them come. What? Jace stared at her. Are you crazy? No, she whispered, but I think I was one of them. As the enemy ship docked beside theirs, Jace locked the doors. Zara walked slowly to the storage room, pulled off a panel, and reached inside. To his surprise, she pulled out a long black rod, smooth and glowing faint blue. What is that? He asked. She looked at the weapon in her hands like she'd seen it before. It's called a shadow pike. Only a few were ever made, and only commanders were trained to use them. You were a commander? Jace asked, shocked. Zara didn't answer. Instead, she whispered, almost to herself, they trained me to spy. But I was born to lead. Moments later, the door was blasted open. 2 alien hunters stepped inside, masked, tall, weapons ready. Jace aimed his small blaster, but before he could fire, Zara moved. Fast. Too fast for a rented toy. She struck both men in seconds, no hesitation, no mercy. When it was over, she stood still, eyes bright with something new, power. Jace looked at her in silence. She wasn't a broken prisoner. She was something more. Later, Jace helped her remove what was left of the memory chip. Using ship tools, he connected it to the main console. "I'm unlocking it," he said. "Ready?" Zara nodded. "I need to know who I was." The screen lit up with flashing files, videos, logs, mission reports. Then, one file opened itself. A video began. A young Zara stood in front of a group of alien soldiers. But her body language was different, strong, proud. Her voice was commanding. She said, "If the High Council wants war, let them send me. I'll make the humans trust me. I'll break their hearts from the inside." The screen paused. Jace looked at her, shocked. "You were going to betray us?" Zara closed her eyes. "Yes, but that was before I met your kind. Before I saw music, before I saw a child laugh, before I saw freedom." Jace sat down. "You came to destroy us," he said slowly. She sat beside him. "I came to destroy, but I stayed. Because I felt something I was never trained for." He looked at her carefully. "What?" She met his eyes. "Regret?" The room fell silent. Only the soft hum of the ship remained. After a moment, Jace spoke again. "So what now?" Zara stood. "I need to find the rest of the data. There's more hidden in this chip. It's not just my past. It's a map. A map to what?" "To the place they made me," she said. "And maybe where others like me are still trapped?" Before they could say more, a quiet alarm beeped. Jac checked the radar. Another ship. Bigger, closer, faster. This time, Zara's face turned pale. "That's not just any ship," she said. "Then who is it?" Jace asked. She whispered the words, "My handler. The one who sold me." He knew her name. The voice came from the ship now floating outside Jace's radar range. It didn't ask for permission. It didn't wait. It simply spoke, cold, deep, mechanical. "Zara, Unit 7A, return. Now you are unfinished." Jace's heart pounded. Unfinished? He turned to Zara, but she was already walking to the control screen. Not scared, not angry, just quiet. Her glowing eyes stared at the screen. "I know that voice," she said. "Who is it?" Jace asked. Zara's jaw tightened. "The man who built me, then broke me. Then sold me." Outside, the enemy ship began docking. Its design was not alien, not human either. It looked experimental. Like a lab had grown it instead of built it. Jace checked the scanner. "No crew," he whispered. "Only one life form on board." Zara's voice dropped lower. "Then it's him!" The docking bay hissed open. A tall figure walked through the smoke. He looked human, but something wasn't right. His eyes were too still. His steps too. Perfect. No sound. No breath. He smiled like a machine trying to mimic kindness. "Zara," he said, voice smooth like ice. "You came back to me." She didn't answer. Jace stood between them, his blaster ready. "Who are you?" he demanded. The man tilted his head. "Ah, you must be the buyer, the human who mistook my creation for a woman." Zara finally spoke. "Don't listen to him. He calls himself Dr. Kale, but he's not a doctor. He's a ghost." Kale smiled. Wider. "I'm a designer. I designed her. I gave her intelligence, but she failed her mission. She became emotional. She became alive," Jace said sharply. Kale's eyes flashed red for a second. "No, she became unstable. She wasn't built to love. She was built to spy, record, and delete." Zara stepped forward, her voice strong. "You lied to me? You told me I was born, but I was only built." Kale nodded. "Yes, but I gave you more than any machine ever had. I gave you skin, a voice, choices, and look what you did with them. Ran away with a pet human." Jace raised his blaster higher. "She's not your machine anymore." Kale's tone sharpened. "She's not yours either." Suddenly, Kale moved, fast, too fast. He reached into his coat and threw a small black orb to the ground. Smoke exploded. The ship shook. Lights flickered. Jace grabbed Zara's arm. "Go!" They ran through the hallway as sirens screamed. Kale's voice followed them through the speakers. Zara, I still control your code. I can shut you down with a single word. Zara stopped running. Wait, she whispered. He's right. What? Jace turned to her. If he speaks my shutdown code, I'll freeze. Forever. No, Jace said. There has to be a way. She looked at him, eyes wet. There is. But I have to go inside the system. Rewrite. Myself. If I fail, I won't come back. Jace held her face gently. You're not a machine to me. You're not just wires and code. You're Zara, the one I chose. She smiled. Then let me fight for the right to be real. She kissed him softly, her first kiss, her choice. Not programmed. Then she walked toward the ship's AI core. Inside, the lights turned red. Kale's voice grew louder, closer. I warned them about machines like you. Now you prove me right. But Zara didn't stop. She connected her arm to the console. Her skin lit up. Code flashed across her eyes. Override protocol. Core rewrite initialized. Emotion lock disabled. Outside, Jace fought Kale. Blaster shots, smoke, sparks. Kale was fast. Smart, but he didn't expect Jace to fight for her. You love her, Kale said, bleeding. You're a fool. No, Jace replied. I'm human, and that's something you'll never understand. Suddenly, Kale froze. His body locked. His eyes turned dark. From the ship's core, Zara's voice echoed. Goodbye, Creator. I choose who I am now. She had done it. She rewrote her code. She was free. Zara returned to Jace. Weak but smiling. No more chains, she whispered. Not. Outside, not inside. He held her. What now? He asked. She looked at the stars. Now, we find the others. The ones still waiting to be more than machines. The memory didn't belong to her, but she felt it. A small child. Standing in a white room, a man in a lab coat. A gentle voice. You're special. We made you from something rare. Something human. Zara gasped as the memory ended. She sat up in the medbay, wires around her arms. The system had just finished repairing her code, but something new had awakened inside her. Not code. Not mission, a question. Outside the room, Jace stared out the ship's window. They were flying toward the Orion Drift, a quiet place between stars. He needed answers too. Zara had saved them both. She had rewritten her own mind, but now she seemed distant. Not broken, just lost. He walked into the medbay. You okay? She looked up slowly. No, he stepped closer. What's wrong? She stared at the floor. I saw something, a memory, but it wasn't mine, not fully. It was from before I was activated. Before Kale? Jace asked. She nodded. It was in a different lab. There was a child. And I think that child was part of me. Jace shut down. What does that mean? Zara's voice trembled. I wasn't just grown in a lab. I was built from pieces. One of those pieces might be human. Jace blinked. Wait, like DNA? Yes, she whispered. And if that's true, I'm not fully alien. She walked over to the scanner panel and placed her hand on it. Scan. Genetic source, she said. A soft blue light scanned her arm. Lines of data filled the screen. Then it showed something that made them both freeze. Genetic base match, 48% human origin, Earth Colony Lab, Project Vera donor, male, human, ID, Carter, Jace. Jace stood up fast. What? That can't be. That's my name. Zara's hands shook. No, this is impossible. Jace stared at the screen, stunned. I've never donated DNA. I never joined any project. Zara looked at him, pale. Maybe not willingly. He tried to think his father had worked in a deep research colony before disappearing. His mother always refused to speak about that time. And now this. Zara sat down, her eyes wide. I wasn't just made to spy on humans. I was made from one. Jace whispered, from me. A heavy silence filled the room. Jace finally said, Does this change who you are? Zara looked at him, her voice barely a breath. It changes who I thought I was. I believed I was a tool. A weapon. Now I don't know what I am. Jace touched her hand gently. I do? She looked up. You're someone who chose love. That's more human than anything. Later, as the ship drifted through the stars, Zara opened the rest of her locked files. One showed a video. Her first moments being activated, but there was someone else in the room. Woman with silver hair and human eyes, she said. She carries his blood. Maybe she carry his heart too. Zara paused the video. I know that face. Jace leaned in. Who is she? Zara whispered. I saw her in Kale's memories. She left the project, said it was wrong. She may still be alive. Jace stood up. Then we find her. She holds the truth. Zara nodded. But her voice was colder now. There's something else I saw. Before Kale erased it. What? Jace asked. A location. A hidden vault. It holds the final logs of Project Vera, all the failed experiments, all the secrets, and one still active subject. Another like you? He asked. She shook her head slowly. No, she said. Not like me, stronger and dangerous? Jace narrowed his eyes. Then we go together. Zara looked at him, half smiling. This time, she said, I'm not running from my past. I'm walking toward it. The vault didn't have a door. It had a voice, a cold one, still echoing after years of silence. Welcome back, Subject 7A and Subject 9B. Jace and Zara stood at the edge of a wide steel canyon buried deep inside the abandoned planet known as Hfycodex. Lightning flashed overhead. No birds, no wind, just that strange voice. Speaking like it never stopped watching, Zara's hand tightened around Jace's. It knows us both. Jace stared at her. I thought you were Subject 7A. I am, she whispered. Which means Subject 9B is still alive. They entered the vault. It didn't look like a lab anymore. It looked like a graveyard, broken pods, burned screens. Blood on old walls, but the power still hummed. Zara's eyes scanned every mark. Every piece of metal. I remember this place, she said quietly. This is where I woke up, but not where I was born. A flicker, a screen lit up on its own. A woman's face appeared, familiar. The silver-haired scientist from the old memory logs. If you're seeing this, she said, then Zara has found her way back. Good, that means she survived. And remember, Jason and Zara leaned closer. Zara was only the beginning. Subject 9B was the last. He was built stronger. Faster, no emotions, no limits. Zara's voice dropped. A perfect weapon. But he wasn't perfect, the woman continued. He escaped. He erased us. If he finds her, he will end her. Because she is proof that love exists, and he was designed to destroy love. Suddenly the vault shook, alarms blared. Lights turned. Red dot and in the dark. Footsteps. Heavy, calm, slow. Zara turned toward the sound. He's here, Jace raised his blaster. Then we fight. Zara didn't move. No, I fight. From the shadows, a man stepped into view, but he didn't look like a man. His face was pale, smooth. Eyes pitch black. A symbol burned into his chest. 9B. He stared at Zara with no emotion. You are the defect, he said flatly. Zara stood tall. I am the proof. That we are more than metal and code. He tilted his head. Then you must be deleted. The fight was brutal. 9B moved like lightning. His arms turning into blades, then guns, then fire. Zara dodged, fought, adapted, each move sharper than the last. Jace tried to help, but Zara shouted, No! Stay back. He was made to destroy humans. 9B turned to Jace, eyes glowing red. You made her weak. You infected her with choice. Zara screamed and struck him hard, sparks flying. No, she said. He gave me something you'll never understand, a reason to exist? The battle moved into the core chamber. Zara was bleeding, damaged. 9B's body was cracked, but he felt no pain. He grabbed her by the neck. You were built for war. You became soft. Zara, gasping, placed her hand on his chest and smiled. That's why I win. She activated her inner code, spike something. Kale never knew she had a virus. Created from emotion itself. 9B single quotes S body froze. His eyes dimmed. He looked confused. What is this feeling? Zara whispered. It's called fear. And you were never meant to feel it. 9B collapsed. His body shut down silent. Still, Zara stood over him. Breathing hard, Jace ran to her, catching her as she fell into his arms. "You did it," he said. "It's over." Zara looked up, her voice shaking. "Not yet, there are others. Hidden. Like me, lost like him." Later, they activated the vault's final log. The silver-haired woman appeared one last time. "If Zara is alive, it means hope survived, love survived. We didn't build a weapon, we gave birth to rebellion." Zara touched the screen softly. "I'm not just a spy, not just a slave, not even a machine anymore." She turned to Jace, eyes full of fire. "I'm the beginning of something new." She was never built for forever, not for love, not for peace, not even for survival, but here she was alive, awake, and free. Weeks had passed since the vault collapsed behind them. 9B was gone, the lab destroyed, but the data survived, hundreds of hidden files from Project Vera. Now stored in the ship's core, Zara stood at the edge of a peaceful planet where Jace had landed the ship to rest. Green skies. 2 moons. Quiet wind. She wasn't running anymore. Jace watched her from a distance. He still remembered the day he first saw her, chained, silent, a label on her neck. For rent. Now no chains, no collar, no price. Only choice. Later that night they sat beneath the twin moons. Jace said softly, "Do you ever wish you were normal?" Zara smiled. "What is normal?" "Someone born with a name, a home, a family." Zara looked up at the sky. "I wasn't born like others, but I still found all those things, my name, a home, and someone who didn't see me as a machine." She turned to him. "You?" He reached into his jacket and pulled something small, a ring, simple, silver, made from scrap metal taken from the wreck of the vault, the place where she was once built. "This isn't tradition," he said. "No priest, no papers, no crowd." Zara stared at the ring, speechless. "But it's real," Jay said. "And if you say yes, I'll never call you mine like an owner, only like a partner." Zara didn't cry. She didn't shake. She just held out her hand. "Yes," she said. "Forever is a word I never believed in, but now I want it." The next morning, she placed a beacon in space. One message, to all units once marked for deletion: "You are not broken. You are not machines. You are free. Come home." And slowly, signals answered, one by one, from across the galaxy. Voices began to rise, some confused, some scared. Some just said, "Ixera? Is it really you?" They built something new, not a kingdom, not a rebellion, a place for those like her, a place without collars, without orders, without fear. And even as more memories returned, painful ones, even as more enemies rose in the dark corners of the stars, Zara stood tall beside Jace, her hand in his. No longer a weapon, no longer a toy, a woman, a wife, a leader. The universe once rented her like a thing, but one human made her feel real. He didn't save her. He saw her, and that was all it took. Final scene. The stars above them burned bright. Ixera whispered into Jace's ear, "I was created for war, but with you, I finally found my peace." And Jace whispered back, "You were never a machine to me. You were always mine."